A very good morning, dear class 7, and welcome in our social science class. This is Shashi, your social science teacher. As children, we have finished our block 4, so it is the time for sample answers. Okay, so today we will review our homework and discuss question answers of workbook, practice questions, additional questions, and bonus questions of the day. So, children, be ready with all the resources needed for today. That are workbook, content book, stationery, along with your notebook in which you have written all the answers. Now, children, it's time to discuss answers. These are sample answers that may vary from your answers. You just watch the video, review your answers, and edit whatever mistake you did. You have to match your answers with the sample answers. Don't just copy them. If you feel that your answers are not matching and totally wrong, then only you correct them. Otherwise, no need to change. Now, children, take out your workbook. First, we will discuss workbook answers. Let's start. So, as the first question is, you have to unscramble the given words, and I hope you did this. So I am not going to match this. The second question is, who invaded Sindh and why? What was the effect of his rule? Muhammad bin Qasim invaded Sindh on the order of his uncle, the governor of Iraq. Since the Arabian ships were plundered by the pirates in this region, the Arabs also wanted to control a new link of the Silk Route through this region. So, what was the effect of his rule? As a result, Islam was introduced in India. Let's move to the third question. That is horse question. You know the third question of your worksheet is horse question. Was the invader who ruled Sindh a man with a liberal outlook? Why or why not? Muhammad bin Qasim was a man with the liberal outlook. He sent messages to the common man to accept the foreign rule peacefully. He believed in basic human rights and did not force his religion to anyone. All subjects in the conquered region were given equal rights. He treated Hindus and Buddhists equally and gave some of them important posts in the administration. Now, children, move to the S2. And in the first question, there is a map. You have to identify and name the marked places raided by Mahmud. You know the answer of this question also, as we have discussed in lesson plan 2 in the teaching video. As A, Ghazni, B is Thaneshwar, C is Mathura, D is Kannauj, E is Ujjain, and F is Somnath. Now, question number 2. If Mahmud wanted to be the ruler of Central Asia, why did he invade Indian cities? Mahmud invaded the regions of northern India because he needed wealth to create a strong army in order to expand his empire in Central Asia. And the second reason was he also wanted to use wealth to carry out development work in Ghazni. Now, the third horse question. How were the raids of Mahmud of Ghazni different from the invasion of Muhammad bin Qasim? Muhammad bin Qasim's invasion of the Sindh region was for political and economic reasons, since the ruler of Sindh was unable to stop piracy in this region, and the Arabs also wanted access to this link to the Silk Route. Mahmud's invasion was purely for economic reasons. He simply wanted to use the wealth obtained to create a strong empire in Central Asia and did not want to rule over the regions he raided. Muhammad bin Qasim wanted minimum destruction Okay, he wanted minimum destruction during his invasion, whereas Mahmud of Ghazni did not feel the same for life or property. Got the answer? Now, children, move to section 3. Muhammad of Ghor. In the first question, identify and shade the cities occupied by Muhammad of Ghor. I hope you did this. Not hope only, I am sure you did this. Okay? As in the first row, what is here? Punjab. And the second, Multan. And in the fourth, Ajmer. And in the fifth one is Kannauj. And the last is Bihar. Then the second question, what led to the invasion of Muhammad of Ghor in the Indian subcontinent and what was its impact? Muhammad of Ghor came to power in Ghazni. He wanted to expand his empire in Central Asia, but he proved to be too weak to do so. Hence, he diverted his attention to the Indian subcontinent. He annexed the regions of Punjab and Multan. Although he was defeated by the Rajput rulers in 1191 AD in the first battle of Tarain, he returned better prepared the following year and was able to win the second battle of Tarain. With this, what happened? With this, he came to power in Ghazni. Now, children, it's time to discuss practice question. So, sorry, not practice question, horse question of S3 of your workbook. How was the invasion of Muhammad of Ghor different from that of Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad bin Qasim? Muhammad bin Qasim invaded the Indian subcontinent as he wanted to stop piracy in the Sindh region and gain control over a link to the Silk Route. He adopted a conciliatory policy for his rule. Whereas Muhammad of Ghazni, he raided Indian temple towns to obtain wealth to take back to Ghazni and expand his empire in Central Asia. And what about Muhammad of Ghor? He wanted to expand his empire in the Indian subcontinent as he was unable to do so in Central Asia. Now, children, come to the practice question. So, in the first question, what you have to do? You have to choose the reasons from the box and explain the given statements. So, children, I hope you did this. I am not going to discuss this question also. Now, move to the second question. What did Muhammad bin Qasim do to convince the people of Sindh to accept his rule? Muhammad bin Qasim adopted a conciliatory policy. Instead of forcing his rule on the people of Sindh, he sent a message to them to accept his rule peacefully and ensure their safety. And the third question is, how can we tell that Muhammad bin Qasim was a man who was not driven by religious motives? It is evident that Muhammad bin Qasim was not driven by religious motives because he gave equal rights to his subjects and did not force his religion on anyone. In fact, he not only protected temples but also repaired them. He also employed people of different religions in administrative posts. Okay, children. And the fourth question, identify me. And there are in the first question, I wrote the first ever book on Indian called Kitabul Hind. So, who said this? You have to write answers of A, B, C. and I'm sure you have written the correct answer. Now we will discuss the fifth question. Why did the raids of Mahmud not have any lasting political effects on India? So, the raids of Mahmud did not have any lasting political effects on India because his motive was simply to gather wealth and not to establish his empire or not to rule in the Indian subcontinent. Now, question number 6. How can we tell that Mahmud was impressed by some of the buildings in India? We know that Mahmud of Ghazni was impressed with Indian architecture because he took back some artists and masons to construct the buildings in Ghazni. Now, question number 7. Why was Muhammad unable to create his empire in Central Asia? As we know, Muhammad of Ghor was unable to establish his rule in Central Asia as the rulers of Central Asia were too strong for him and were able to defeat Muhammad of Ghor's attacks easily. Question number 8. Why did Muhammad lose the first battle of Tarain? When Muhammad of Ghor attacked, he faced a strong and united group of Rajput rulers. As a result, he lost the first battle of Tarain. Now move to the ninth question. And the question is, why did the second battle of Tarain change the course of Indian history? The Indian subcontinent experienced a long period of Muslim rule after the second battle of Tarain. This not only changed the political system but also brought about many changes in Indian culture also. Now 10th question is, as you know, horse question. Like every event, invasions too have their advantages and disadvantages. Explain this statement. So you have to explain. You match your answers. This is the sample answers. So don't copy the answers because you have to deposit your notebook and workbook very soon. Your answers may be different. Okay, children? Invasions are usually military attacks carried out to occupied territories. This means that people living in the occupied region have no bear the effects of an invasion. Apart from the loss of property, lives, and resources, they have to follow a new set of rules, new policies, and the new system of taxes introduced by the victorious ruler. Some of these may not be agreeable to them. However, an invasion also leads to interchange of ideas and new learning, such as language and customs of people from another land, new forms of food, music, dance, and even types of plants. And animals get introduced. All these factors add to the regional culture, making it more dynamic and diverse. Here, 2T is written in capital. It is wrong. It should be in small letter. Okay, children, move to additional question. And first question, what is this? Fill in the blanks. That also I will not discuss. Then, what is the second question? Which city was called the City of Gold by Muhammad bin Qasim and why? Okay, so Multan. It was called the City of Gold by Muhammad bin Qasim because a lot of gold and wealth was acquired there during an invasion. And the third question is, what new taxes were introduced in Sindh by Muhammad bin Qasim? Muhammad bin Qasim imposed taxes called zakat on Muslims and jizya on non-Muslims in the region he acquired. Fourth question is, how can we tell that the time period of 1000 to 1025 AD was not peaceful for northern India? The time period from 1000 to 1025 AD was not a peaceful one for northern India. During this time, Mahmud of Ghazni attacked Indian towns and his cities to acquire wealth in order to raise a strong army. The Indian rulers of these regions were not very strong and united also, and were therefore unable to stop his raids. Fifth question, the invasions of Muhammad of Ghor had a lasting impact on India. Explain this statement. The invasion of Muhammad of Ghor had a lasting impact on India. It was the beginning of the long Muslim rule in India and also the loss of some of our important rulers. So, India lost many important rulers in the time period of Muhammad of Ghor. Now, let's move to the sixth question, and that is horse question. Compare the invasions of the three invaders, and you know three invaders: Muhammad bin Qasim, Mahmud of Ghazni, and Muhammad of Ghor. So compare the invasions of the three invaders in the Indian subcontinent between 7th to 12th century AD. Muhammad bin Qasim invaded India because he wanted to stop piracy in the Sindh region and gain control over the link to the Silk Route through this region. Whereas Mahmud of Ghazni, he needed wealth to build and maintain a strong army to expand his empire in Central Asia. And what about Muhammad of Ghor? He wanted to expand his empire in India as he had been unable to do so in Central Asia. I hope all the answers are very clear to you. You match your answers, correct your answers, and complete your writing work. Children, again, I am reminding you, you don't have to copy them. When I will check your answers, your workbook and notebook, I want to see different answers. I hope, children, honestly and sincerely, you are completing your work. Let's discuss our bonus questions. And the first question was, the first set, who invaded the region of Sindh? Muhammad bin Qasim invaded the region of Sindh. And the second question was, in the second section, who wrote Shahnama? Firdausi wrote Shahnama. In the third day, whom did the Muhammad of Ghor defeated in the second battle of Tarain? And who was defeated? Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated in the second battle of Tarain by Muhammad of Ghor. And in the fourth day, who was defeated in the first battle of Tarain? Muhammad of Ghor defeated in the first battle of Tarain. So now children, what to do? Complete your writing work in the workbook and notebook. Honestly and sincerely, you complete your work on the daily basis. Prepare block 4 for block assessment, and it should be on Wednesday. So be ready for this. Have a nice day, children. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, and bye bye.